But hello, everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League Show, the show dedicated to everything EFL Championship, League One, League Two, and the National League for people like me. We've got to speak about the National League. But I could not do this alone, especially considering it's a double game week. So we've got a lot of football to obviously talk about. And I brought three of my favourite people, one new face as well. But we'll get on to Johnny in a minute. I know. First of all, Nick, how are you? How's your week been?
Yeah, week's been good. 2 wins in a week. God, me. That's what a change. What a change a few days makes. So yeah, well happy at the moment. Although performances were mixed to say the least, but we got the 2 wins. So yeah, I'm happy.
I know. Me and you, Nick, I mean, at first we were suffering a little bit, weren't we? It was
cool, weren't we?
It was Ant and Claire, and we've turned it around, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're the happy ones. Sorry, Ant. How are you anyway, Ant, apart from that comment? I do apologise.
Kick a man while he's down. Honest. Apart from the football, I'm very, very well, thank you. It's snowing, it's horrible. I fell over twice already today. Got the van at work stuck. Apart from that, I'm tickety-boo.
Absolutely love it. And I love your shirt as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, it's Morocco. There we are.
Nice.
They're my favourites for the African Cup of Nations, so fingers crossed.
Nice. But then again, Shrewsbury.
All right, Jesus.
I've got to get it in because Claire's not here.
It's coming from the girl who thinks Luton will stay up.
I know. That is true. That is true. And we have got a new face, everybody. And Shani in the chat will be very happy because it's a fellow Northampton fan. So, Danny, how are you? And thank you so much for joining us.
There's the other one. Yeah, I'm loving it. Sorry, Ant, we've had 2 wins this week as well, so I'm coughing. We're just all going to be celebrating this week. You can sit and wallow in the corner if you want, but yeah, loving it, loving life in League One. So it's fun. Having a good time.
No, I've just realised as well, we've actually got one representing each of the leagues, haven't we?
Yeah.
Championship, League One, League Two, and the National League. That doesn't happen very often. I'd like to say it was planned, but it wasn't. And,
of course it was, Char.
I know.
Of course
it was. I'm giving away everything, aren't I?
Yeah. Go with the plan.
I know, in the chat as well, we have got a lot of people. So good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. As usual, we do appreciate your support. And we've got our very own Claire as well. Get well soon. I hope the foot's all right, Claire.
Yeah, where's Claire? She's in A&E.
I know.
She's not this quick. No need for any of them photos.
Oh, funny. She's actually put in the chat as well. Don't talk about falling over. But Luton will stay up. Exactly. I honestly still think they will stay up. I'm confident. I'm very confident. Right. Should we start talking some football then, guys?
Before we do, Charlotte, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. Now, as we know, right, Rochdale had some serious bad news this week, didn't they? That Kane Hayes has been recalled by Fleetwood Town. Now, as people who kind of watch us, listen to us, I did a sing-song a few weeks ago, and I have wrote a little song pleading. This is fun because Charlotte wasn't brave enough to sing this week. I have wrote a nice little song to Lee Johnson from our very own Charlotte Cromartie, right? And it's called "Give Us Back Kane Hayes," right? You might know the tune. It's a very famous Christmas song, right? Lee, why did you have to take him away? Don't think I can take the pain. Won't you give us back Kane Hayes? He was a devil on the right wing. To see him go, it really stings. Won't you give us back Kane Hayes? Words can't describe how I really feel. I just want a permanent deal. Won't you give us back Kane Hayes? There's only 2 more to go, right? I hope your next shit's a hair jog and you can't get off the bog. Give us back Kane Hayes. If you don't, then I will be brown. And I hope Fleetwood go down. Won't you give us back Kane Hayes? Lee Johnson, if you're listening, you're probably not. But listen to the people. Listen to Rochdale fans.
Yes.
Listen to everyone. Give them back Kane Hayes.
Yes.
There we are.
That was very Keegan-esque there at the end as well. Like,
I love
Lee
that.
Johnson, if you're listening to this, I'll tell you something.
Let's get Lad Baby off number 1. Let's get that one up there.
Let's do it.
Bring us
Let's
back
do
Kane
it.
Hayes. So
Do you know
hopefully that's
what?
cheered her up, my darling.
It really has cheered me up because you know what? I was absolutely gutted because obviously the news broke earlier in the week. Obviously, there's rumours of like investment, and a journalist reported that we've not paid like players and things like that and staff. Turns out it's because obviously we've got new investment coming in, and obviously the payroll's changing. So the staff and players actually got paid today, apparently so. So I'm hoping that is the case. Nothing else has come out. So obviously there was that to deal with, and we thought, oh, here we go. And then it was like, kick us while we're down even more, because then Keane Hayes went. And honestly, you know me, for the last few weeks, I've just been talking about this player. I've been bragging about him. I don't know if any of you saw his wonder goal as well at the weekend.
Oh, yeah, it was a stonker. Yeah.
It was an absolute peach. And then, yeah, I was absolutely gutted. And my little boy, bless him, Bobby, I was there on my phone. I went, oh, no. And I told him, I was like, Keane Hayes is gone. He was like, are you all right, Mummy? Are you going to cry? I was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm a bit gutted, like.
We've got Fleetwood next week, so I can have a word if you
Please.
want. I'll get
Please.
in touch.
Excellent. Yeah.
Please.
Damn you, Lee.
Have a word.
Damn you.
Oh, man. Everyone in the chat as well appreciates that. And as much as we did as well. So thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
I absolutely love it. Oh, funny. Claire is crying, laughing as well. Oh, that really made me laugh.
Thought I might get us off to a bright start since I'm going to be talking miserable for the next couple of games. There we are.
Well, you don't have to, because I've got a really sore throat. So I do apologise to anyone in the chat. But I'm going to do it a slightly different way today. I'm going to ask each one of you guys which are your standout results in the game week. You're more than welcome to say more than one fixture as well. So I'm going to start with you, Nick. Which result stands out for you in the Championship on Friday or Saturday?
I've gone for West Brom against Ipswich, which is, I know sort of West Brom have sort of had an up and down season, and obviously Ipswich have been absolutely flying. So that was a good win for West Brom. It actually put them back into the top 6 and also ended Ipswich's 12-game unbeaten run. So that's a hell of a result for them. So, a couple of goals, one in the 5th minute, one in the 47th, Furlong in the 5th, put them in front. And I'll do a Clare in a minute. Diangana, I think that's how you pronounce it. You can help me there, Claire. And made it 2-0. And it seemed it was probably a pretty even game from there. And, you know, the West Brom managers were saying that's the level they need to be at if they want to keep in that league. So that probably gives them a good chance to really go for a playoff spot. They're obviously not going to get anywhere near the top 2.
No.
That's looking pretty sound at the moment, and we know there's a hell of a long way to go. And same with any league, you know, you win 3 or 4 games and you move up, lose 2, 3, 4 games, and you slip back down quite quickly. So, but good result for West Brom. They've always got a good level of support. So, and it makes the league more interesting, where the teams near the top get beat. So, good day all round.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially as we're always bigging up Ipswich. I know Claire as well in the chat. She said from the start, hasn't she, that she thinks Ipswich will stay up there because was it who thought they were going to tail off. You still think it?
Yeah, I know the one. I know we're getting into, but the one last night. But they played Millwall, and everyone's beating Millwall at the minute.
Yeah.
However, funnily enough, Millwall have Sunderland on Saturday, so there we go. And then we've got West Brom.
Set yourself up for that one.
Then we've got West Brom. So, but I think just going off what Nick's saying there, like they are so good at home, West Brom at the minute. They've got such a good home record. Colburn actually's done a fantastic job there. Like come in there, they were nearly bottom of the league. They nearly got into the playoffs last year. They were very unlucky to miss out. They're a team to watch them. Whoever gets them in the playoffs will be, that'll be a very, very difficult tie. That they stand out to me that they'll finish. I think they'll finish top 6.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think to be honest, I think the top 6 is the top 6 at the minute because I don't think we're going to get there. But well done. I mean, like I say, it's hard to beat Ipswich at the minute, but Ipswich are still conceding goals. I said that from the start. I know that me and who was I? With Sam did an interview with a Ipswich fan just going out on this in a couple of weeks, and he said that we're going to have to stop conceding because teams who concede those goals don't go up. Luckily enough, they're getting out of it because they're scoring loads of goals themselves, but it's got to fall off at some point.
Yeah. Just going to the chat as well, we have everybody's standout game. So sorry about this one, Anne. I am sorry. Claire thinks the Norwich game sticks out. Ale said the Huddersfield game.
Yeah, they did really well.
Claire as well said Plymouth. Aww.
It's because they had the Oggy pasties, wasn't it?
I know.
That's what it must have been. Yeah.
I will say if you want, I will take that game if you want. And that game, I will talk about last night as well because that was a completely different kettle of fish. But that game was pretty much what I've said pretty much all season about Sunderland. That we had so many chances. We had 27 shots. We only had 5 or 6 on target, but we dominated the game. It's just we can't put our chances away. And Plymouth, to be fair, did. Morgan Whittaker scored a fantastic goal. Really good, really, really good goal in the top corner. And they took their chances. We didn't. We move on. Simple as. And what we needed to do was come back with a vengeance last night. I will get into that, and we completely didn't. So fair play to Plymouth. Beat us on the day. Probably deserved it. It is what it is.
Going back to the chat as well, we have our very good friend and someone who you know very well, Nick. We have got Fifey in the chat. Hello, Fifey.
Evening, Fifey.
We have in the chat as well. Charles has put West Brom beating Ipswich is pretty big. Yes. Mentioned that. And Connor, evening all. Anthony, great to see you again. Sunderland need Ahmad back from us.
We do need Ahmad. Yeah, we do need Ahmad back. We've got a big Ahmad gaped hole in our team. But obviously now that Connor's on, Connor, I know I wished you well on the awards like a couple of weeks ago, but very, very well done on winning the 3rd placement you in our category. Massively deserved, and fingers crossed we'll see you the next year as well. Well done, mate. Really, really chuffed for you.
Well done. Danny, have you got any standout result from the Championship at the weekend?
Yeah, I've gone for Blackburn beating Stoke away.
Yeah.
Blackburn are a funny team. They go up and down like more than a fiddler's elbow a lot of the time. They're up a couple of games. They win 2 or 3-0 a couple of games in a row. Then they're back down again. They're back up again. They've had a couple of wins this week. We might come on to another one later on. But this one, to go to Stoke, especially, it's not as big a deal as it used to be going to Stoke and getting a result, but a performance like this, it's a real standout for them. And John Dale Thomason, I think, has got a really young squad there, really young side, and they seem to be pulling out of some decent results to keep him in the mix at least. Got Scott Wharton putting a header in, formerly of the Cobblers Parish as well, heading in the first goal, which is always nice to see. Former loanee of ours, Andrew Moran as well late on, and then Sammy Smodics is on absolute fire at the minute. Scoring in injury time, and he's got a couple more in midweek. He's just a player who's just taken. He is the kind of one with experience in there who's dragging them all through. But you look at their side and you don't really recognise a lot of their names unless you really, really study the Championship a lot. But they're getting through on teamwork, on sort of what Dale Thomason has instilled in them, and is clearly getting a tune out of them. So he's it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it going, because last year as well, last season they went up towards the playoffs. They were in there for a little bit and then dropped off right at the end. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it going this season. But that's definitely a standout for me, the Blackburn one.
Yeah, they lost Brereton Diaz as well, which you thought would
exactly
be top, like bottom end of the championship. I thought, but they're doing so well. He's a good manager, John Dahl Thomason, to be fair.
But sometimes you get that as well, don't you? When you get a big player leave, who's like clearly like the outstanding player of the team and the top scorer and stuff. Sometimes you do get the others rallying around, and you become a better team almost because of it, which is an odd situation, but seems to have happened there for sure.
In the chat as well, Fifey says that he rates Blackburn, to be fair. Connor has put that he appreciates it, mate. I think that's to you, Anne. And I'd like to see Ahmad back at Sunderland. Works for both parties, smashed it over there.
He really did. He really did.
Just before we move on to obviously Tuesday night's games and Wednesday night's games, is there any other ones that stand out for you, Anne? Obviously, you had to mention the Sunderland game because everyone in the chat did, but is there any other games apart from that? I'm going to be nice.
I think Rotherham drawn with Leeds was good.
Massive,
Rotherham. Huddersfield getting a point against Southampton. Southampton on fire. Coventry getting over their little bad run and condemning more on Millwall. And I agree with Danny about Blackburn. I think that's a cracking win. I think Alex Neil's under massive pressure now at Stoke, considering we'll get into it. They lost again during the week. But yeah, some good results there, to be fair. Teams who haven't been playing that well getting results. But then Leicester as well carrying it on. But they drew last night as well. So it's open for a few.
Definitely. In the chat as well, we have Aled. He has put, mine is Huddersfield from both sets of matches. And Mr. Luke has put, I really hate when loan players do well. It makes you want to keep them, but sometimes you cannot. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, but I will knock it onto it. And Connor has put, keep Coventry down in the championship, please. Won't get into the story, but I don't like them at all. Glad they have fallen off a bit. And then Claire has put that she dislikes Stoke, so you'll love to see it. We will move on now.
Why Connor won't like Coventry?
I want to hear the story now. You've just that's all that's done is.
Yeah, please send it, Connor. We're intrigued now. You've got to tell us.
DM it, Connor. Give us a DM, and I'll not read it out, but I'll share it with the guys here.
So now just going on to the midweek games as well. Any standouts for you there, Nick?
Midweek, I suppose. Looking at the midweek is QPR. Obviously, they've been struggling of late, and like you say, Stoke City, real strange side that can win 3-0 one week and then obviously get let in 4 over at QPR. So that's probably a really important win for QPR to keep them sort of away from the bottom end of that table. Just looking at, I haven't really looked at it that much. I see Stoke didn't help themselves by Stevens was sent off for two bookable offences.
Did you see the second one?
Is that where he clapped the ref?
Yeah, no. He kind of went to pull the player back. He was absolutely nowhere near the player. Then fell over. The referee brandished it, and he was like, and then it was shocking. It was absolutely
right. Yeah, and obviously QPR left it late. I just see they got there was an 89th minute own goal, and I'll talk about stoppage time goals later on. And there was a 94th minute goal for Willock to make it 4-2. So there's lots of late goals around. So, but yeah, that's a heck of a win for QPR, and obviously it's something that they needed to keep them away from too far from the bottom of that table.
Yeah, massive. In the chat as well, Mr. Lucas says Sheffield Wednesday versus Leicester stands out to him. 5-Fit has put Wednesday goal was huge. Simon in the chat as well has put Cov have had a major rebuild, so we're always going to struggle to do well as last season. And 5-Fit isn't a fan of Stoke either.
Is there anyone apart from Stoke fans?
I know. I thought that. Just moving on as well, Danny, is there any standout games for you?
Yeah, from Tuesday night, I'm going to go with Hull beating Rotherham 4-1, mainly because of one player in Jaden Philogene, who is tearing the championship up at the minute. I love him as a player. Obviously signed from Villa in September, and he is someone who I'm sure if he gets injured and stuff, it's going to be really difficult for them. But the way he's playing at the minute, he is like far and away one of the better Championship players of in the whole league, and he takes them to another level that we didn't quite see last season. Really like Liam Rossini as a manager as well, what he's doing there. It's almost feeling like it's going a little bit under the radar, because you've got the likes of Leeds, Southampton, Leicester, what Ipswich are doing as well. Hull are kind of sneaking up there under the radar, and you always get one team who does that. You always get one team that's kind of hovering about it, up there. The likes of Hull, the likes of Blackburn last season, that don't really get noticed as much, but this lad Philogene is superb, and they've got Tyler Morton in there as well. He scored again on Tuesday night on loan from Liverpool. Scott Twine's a really good player at this level. All of them on the score sheet, and they just absolutely ran rampant over Rotherham, who aren't doing well. But yeah, you have to put these teams to the sword, and they really, really did so, and really, really impressive what they're doing at the minute.
Definitely,
I think they'll be in the playoffs. I do think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
Another cracking manager, young hungry manager, isn't it? He's really, really good. He's a good lad as well. When you see him off the pitch, he talks so well. So fingers crossed for them line.
Definitely. In the chat as well, Five Fit has put this to you, Nick. Just the one stoppage time goal, Nick. What a boring game, lol.
Yeah, it was.
Simon has put a question for us. Was the ball in or out before they scored on Tuesday?
It looked out. But we don't have VAR in the Championship, so for me, it's a goal. It wasn't the worst decision over the week, to be fair. Lap along to PSG getting that penalty, but it was funny. But yeah, it was over the line. But there you go. It is what it is, isn't it?
Mr. Luke as well. Oh, Simon, depends on the angle, Five Fair. And Mr. Luke, Hull City scored 3 goals in under 20 minutes. Looks like they are taking inspiration from Gateshead. I love that. I love that. Anne, any standout games for you, or do you want to talk about the Sunderland game? It's completely up to you.
I'll talk about the Sunderland game, but I have got another one. I'll pick that one next. But oh god, I'm still not over last night. I'm not. It's horrible because when you go, we all know this, when you go to games on a Tuesday or Wednesday night or whatever it is, and it's bloody cold, and it's like just win. Warm us up, win 1-0 with a deflection or something like that. But it was for the first time in a long, it's probably the worst we played under Tony Mowbray last night. The first time in a long time where I was looking at it thinking this team's just not good. Like we hadn't improved at all. I thought, especially with losing on Saturday and kind of taking our medicine against Plymouth. Thought, right, this is an ideal game to go out, get a few goals, just be a little bit more confident, play with freedom, and they just didn't. It was so ragged and so like lethargic. And Huddersfield had a couple of chances before they'd scored, and we were just like, we didn't switch on at all. I mean, we had a right back playing at centre half. We had a centre half playing at right back, so work that one out. I think the problem is with us at the moment. I think we're kind of arrogant at the minute, just thinking we need to show up and win. And teams have now worked us out that if you stop Jack Clark, you stop Sunderland, because we've got no other outlet. We've got 4 strikers who we've signed who still haven't scored this season. So our last striker who scored for us was the 13th of April this year, and that was Joe Gellard, who's now gone back to Leeds, ironically against Huddersfield. But they went 1-0 up. Then we managed to get an equaliser from a set play. I thought, right, second half, go on and kick on. And to be fair, we kind of, second half, we looked a little bit more at it. And then their second goal, it's just a joke. They have a shot, it's deflected, it's up in the air. Our centre half and our left back just stop. Their lads got the freedom of the city to get in. First time, it's a nice finish, don't get us wrong, lovely goal. But we're the victims of our own downfall. And you knew then we weren't gonna score again. We puffed, and Tony Mowbray did his usual striker roulette by putting all of his strikers on at the same time, and our shape got left. We're playing with our left back for the last 5 minutes because nobody knew where anyone was playing. I'm a little bit. I think if we lose on Saturday, I think that might be the end for Tony Mowbray, to be honest.
Do you reckon?
Because we've now lost 8 games this season, right?
Yeah.
and we only lost 13 last season, and we
Wow.
were in the playoffs. And if the plan is that we want to kick on and we want to get into the playoffs, we can't be losing 8 games at this stage of the season. So we'll see what happens. He's kind of making it. The bother is with him. He's kind of the victim of his own downfall a little bit, because he's making these decisions like playing Seals, who's the centre half. Luke O'Nien he's played centre half this year, don't get us wrong, but he played majority of the season last year at right back. So just switch them over. You know what I mean? Just let Seal play in his right position. He's only played 3 or 4 games for us. And then Job Bellingham needs a rest. So you've got like an 18-year-old kid, playing 90 minutes all the time, and he needs a rest. Patrick Roberts needs to score or set up a goal soon, otherwise he needs to be dropped. And I think our depth isn't as good last year. As I mentioned before, we've got a massive Ahmad gaped hole in our squad. But you look at Coventry, you've got, Heyman, Gyökeres, and they're starting to build, they're starting to like turn it around. We're going the opposite way. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be an interesting couple of weeks. But we were just
Who have you got on Saturday, Ant?
Millwall.
Oh, I'm hoping you win then.
Yeah, so
Surely.
I can just remember maybe a month, 5 weeks ago being so like up a height, thinking, we're a really good side here, and I don't know what's happened. I really don't, and we just look lethargic. And maybe it's because they are youth, maybe because they don't know any better, and maybe just because they think that I think they have got arrogant. I think they just think they need to show up and win, which you can't do. And I think the lack of an experienced head in the midfield or at the back or whatever is telling at the moment. So, but we'll see. But fair credit to Huddersfield, like I say, came and did a job. Like same as Plymouth, came and did the job well. And I like Darren Miller, so fair play. I think he's a great manager. But I'm just it was just a miserable. I know. And everyone else as well. It was so cold. So yeah. Even the Bovril at half time could be enough. Man.
Bless you. I've got a question in the chat as well from Fifey. He has asked, Rooney last in, and is he the next out?
I think Alex Neil will go before Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
I think David Wagner's close. As I've mentioned before, it wouldn't shock me if we lose on Saturday that we pull the trigger. I think I would give Mowbray the season, and then just wherever we finish, just say and then try and get a younger manager. We tried to do that, and that was the plan. I think the plan was at the end of the season, Mowbray was coming to consolidate us after what Alex Neil did. We ended up having such a good season, and it was a little bit of being harsh to sack him and stuff. But we were after that. Is it Ferranoli, who's gone to Nice and he's got them like second in the league? We were after him. That was the plan, I think, to get him, and then we didn't. Maybe hindsight's a wonderful thing. It would have been so harsh to sack Mowbray, but I think Simon put it on there before. We're getting our little slump.
It's just the Tony Mowbray post-Christmas meltdown has started early this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen his post-match interview last night, but he looked like a beaten man, and that worries us. The fact that the players are looking tired and it's November is worrying us. But in better news, my game of the week there is Watford and Norwich. Norwich were 2-0 up. Danny Bath's gone for Norwich, used to be for Sunderland. Clare, there you go. But Watford come back to win 3-2. So what a game. And Aspria's goal was an absolute beauty. So, well done to Watford. Because, I like Watford, obviously, mates. Do not scratch your eyes podcast. Great podcast. And do really good work. They're amazing. So, well done, Watford. But, yeah, I'm sad.
And back to the managers very quickly. This is the time of year when Neil Warnock's sat by his phone, isn't it? He's just like he's just waiting for someone to pick it up.
Exactly.
I think Rooney will be okay. Personally, I think they'll let him see the season out.
I'm pretty sure as well. With Birmingham, didn't they have something ridiculous like 31 shots or something, but they'd still lost? I'm sure they absolutely like dominated, like attacking wise. I could be wrong. This could be me like totally like, but I'm sure it was in my Her Game 2 group chat. Emily put it.
We had 27 last night, but I mean, not many of them were meaningful. Their keepers made two 2 really good saves. Don't get us wrong, but
I tell you what'll cheer you up, Vawan. Shawnee has mentioned it in the chat, and I know it was in our group chat last night because I shared it. Can't wait for the Barnsley's goal talk from midweek. Now that was comical.
Yeah, I know we will get into it, but the goalkeeper is excellent.
At least you've not got him now.
yeah, but
every cloud.
That's it. Spenny fan, Chris. Yes, it is snowing in Durham. I've been stuck in it twice today. Mowbray works.
Yeah, Claire, on your shots, it was Birmingham had 26 to Blackburn's 14. I
keep on saying it though, don't I, guys? There's only one stat matters in football. It's the final score.
Exactly.
Yeah, and some of the way they put what are shots is always debatable anyway. You watch a live game and see it, and I don't know who counts it sometimes. So
not 1-0 either, Sean.
Do you know what I really love? This chat about Bovril and Marmite in the chat, and this from Mr. Luke.
You can't beat a cup
He
of
has
Bovril.
put Marmite should be dropped on a kitchen floor and not cleaned up.
Hey, Marmite's the tops, man. You cannot have toast without Marmite on it. Basic.
I love how we talk about football and then all of a sudden it just goes like, what was last week's was a city conversation. Now it's Marmite.
Yeah, Marmite's.
I don't mind Marmite. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's nice on crumpets.
Yeah, it is nice on crumpets. Yeah, I love a Bovril. Is anyone bad mouthing Bovril in the chat? Because they can get out. One beat a good cup of Bovril.
Yeah, Bovril's good.
Bovril's getting quite a lot of love, to be fair.
Yeah, it is getting a lot of love.
Love a bit of hot gravy.
I could just.
Don't start her off on gravy.
Yeah, I'll say that because I think that's why my throat's so sore because I just spend every week talking about gravy and Kean Hayes. Looking at the championship table, though, we have top of the table Leicester on 43 points. 1 point behind them in second place, we have Ipswich on 42 points. The playoffs are Leeds in third spot on 35 points, Southampton below them on 34 points, West Brom on 32 points, and Hull on 30 points. And then in the relegation zone, no change. 22nd, we have QPR on 13 points, Rotherham below them in 23rd with 12 points, and rock bottom of the league. I always feel sorry for them because I say it every week. We have Sheffield Wednesday on 7 points.
I mean, that's done, isn't it? The relegation. There's not going to be an exciting relegation battle, is there?
I know.
You look at that, you think, did they get a 10-point deduction or something? But it's just not very good. Yeah.
Bless them. Just going back to the chat as well, Sean has put, have you not had jam on toast, Nick?
No, jam's second choice. Marmite first, jam second, as long as it's raspberry jam.
Aled has put gravy, Bovril, and Marmite. I think he's happy with that. We have in the chat, miss a good cup of Bovril and a pie or burger at lower league games. A cup of gravy will probably sort Shah's sore throat out. Do you know what? I might try it. That might be the cure of all cures, a cup of gravy. And then Fifey has put Bovril is a snack version of Bristol Sea, while Marmite is Oxford.
Fifey, don't start comparing Marmite and Oxford together. That is just, Fifey, let me down.
It's not on.
Fifey.
And then Mr. Luke has put Sheffield Wednesday look dead and buried. However, Leicester and Ipswich not so much. And he's also put, do not tell me you drink the gravy. Yeah, of course I do. I'm a northerner. Of course.
Luke. You're letting the side down here, boy. I'm telling you.
Exactly. Come on, Mr.
Down
Luke.
here.
Come on. Moving on to League One now, the weekend's results. Nick, any standout ones for you? Obviously, Bolton is at the top, so that's quite a standout.
Yeah, that's not a bad one to start with, is it? Yeah, I don't think we've got time to go through all that. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Exeter because their form recently has been terrible, and they are quite a good, well-run club. And you know, we had quite a few battles with Exeter over the seasons, with them usually, unfortunately, coming out on top. But yeah, I don't know quite what's going on there, and I think there's a bit of unrest with some of the fans, which is a shame because, say, the work they've done, sort of a very well-run community club, I think they built a new stand in, they're quite decent. So don't know what's going on the pitch. Yeah, but Bolton, those results, I was going to say 7 goals in a game don't come around very often. 7 goals for one side happens now and again, surprisingly enough.
We won't talk about that.
But yeah, we don't like 7. We don't like. It's not lucky 7. So,
I don't want any 7 talk. Thank you very much.
No, we don't.
Isn't that the second 7-0 in League One this season? Because didn't Barnsley win 7-0 early on?
Yeah, we did. Was that the opening game of the season?
That was the first game of the season,
I think it was, wasn't it? That was Port Vale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Port Vale. Yeah, that's always good to see, though, them getting hammered, so don't mind that at all.
I love it. Going back to the chat before we chat to the rest of you guys, we have got, I can't keep up tonight.
It's still gravy.
I know. Fifey said the Blackpool game. Spenny fan Chris has put Bolton, holy moly. Speaking of Oxford and the crying laughing faces from Fifey. Mr. Luke has put, I love gravy, but drinking it makes me ill. I'm sorry, I should have known better. You should have known better, Mr. Luke. But we'll let you off this once. Aledis put we like 6 though. Claire has put Cheltenham to stay up, as I said.
Why are Cheltenham all of a sudden scoring goals?
I was going to talk about the Cheltenham game because obviously that's such a satisfying result for a Swindon supporter.
You feel free.
For Cheltenham to beat them, especially when Oxford had their new manager, his first game. So that's always a shame when you lose your first game. And Cheltenham had a player sent off just before half time. And we all know Cheltenham. How many games did they go without scoring? It was something ridiculous, wasn't it? They couldn't score to save their lives. So they've picked up recently, and that obviously is a real good win against Oxford, because I don't know what the crowd and the away fans were, but Oxford would have taken a real good number down there, because Oxford to Cheltenham's not far, and they'd have taken a lot of fans down there. So add all that together, and that is a cracking win for Cheltenham. And especially pleasing is I was out with the Oxford supporting friends the other week, and they were telling me how good it was going to be with their new manager. So cheers, boys. Love it.
I absolutely love it. I just want to give a mention as well to Wolsey, bless him, because oh my god, what a week for us. Reading winning back-to-back games. That's the first thing I thought of when I was doing the graphics. I was so happy for him. So well done.
Yeah, off the bottom now as well, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Danny, of course, Northampton. I know that's probably a standout result for you. So do you want to talk about Northampton?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was going to come to the Blackpool game in a minute as well, but that was the Cambridge one, was back-to-back wins for us, which is very rare in League One this season for us. But we seem to be ticking along quite well now. It's amazing what a couple of results does for you, because we were completely down in the dumps a few weeks ago. We lost 4-0 to Derby. We didn't turn up at all, and everything was the talk of our relegation battle, which it still is, even though we're 13th. But to get those back-to-back results, it's more like we've stepped up in terms of organisation, and we've brought one player back into the team, and it's made everything different. And it's one of these players called Jack Sowerby, who you might have heard of over the years. He's the type of player who's completely unflashy, and he'll come in and do all the dirty work and do all the jobs that no one else wants to do, and he'll go everything unnoticed. And that's let Mark Leonard get off the leash a little bit further up the pitch. It's meant that Kieran Bowie's become a more central striker, and he's scoring a couple of goals as well. He scored a great goal against Cambridge. It was one of them back passes to the keeper where he nips in and scores and gives it the big one as well, which is quite fun. Cambridge came back into it with a goal, gave us a little bit to worry about, but overall I thought Cambridge were pretty poor, and they've paid with it this week as well. They've lost in midweek, and then their manager Mark Bonner's gone, it's been 3 or 4 really good years for them under Mark Bonner, and he's done some really good things. He's got them promoted in second place in League Two. He's gone to Newcastle and got that win in the Cup. He's established them in a League One as a League One club, and it feels like there's a lot of sadness going on around Cambridge because of it, but at the same time it feels like it was around about the right time for them, so we've kind of helped them along the way to getting sacked, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, definitely the Blackpool one is also a standout one. Like going to Portsmouth, 27 games unbeaten for Portsmouth going into the game, and Blackpool to go there and win 4-0 is. Sorry, I just noticed Charles in the comments.
I know. that's what I was giggling at.
But Blackpool going to Portsmouth and like, on any day of the week, that's an incredible result going to Fratton Park and winning 4-0. Portsmouth had a player sent off midway through the second half, but still to go there and get that result. They're a really good attack inside Blackpool, and they've got a lot of exciting players going forward. I know the Portsmouth fans were at 4-0 were starting to get a bit of gallows humour and started really cheering and sort of getting right behind the team again at 4-0. But I think that was more of an appreciation of what's come before it. The 27 games unbeaten is a mad record. So, but for that to come unstuck, it's kind of glorious unstickingness. That's not a word, but I'm going to use it. Unstickingness for Blackpool to go and do. And it would take an absolutely phenomenal side to go and then beat Blackpool in the next game. So, I'm not sure what happened in the next game, but we'll come to it in a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're doing really well, Blackpool, aren't they? Really finding the form. Jordan Rhodes, obviously, they've got on loan. I know Jake Beasley, who was ex-Rochdale, he's just come back from injury, and I know he's got a couple of goals recently. But yeah, they've got a really good squad, Blackpool. They were actually one of my favourites to go up this season, but the start, I thought, will they, won't they? But they seem to hit form at a really good time. So yeah, they're definitely one of my favourites for at least playoffs.
I hope they don't. I hope they didn't lose on Tuesdays. That's all I'm saying. I can't remember.
And any standout games for you?
Just a quick one on Northampton. I just want to ask Danny: is Jordan Willis getting a game? Because
he is. To be fair, he's coming on a short-term deal. He's performing really well. He took him a couple of weeks to get up to speed, like you'd imagine. He's not played for a bit, but he looks quality in terms of like League One football. He's slotted in, and we didn't know what to expect in terms of fitness and stuff. But his reading of the game and his clearances, everything, he throws himself in the way, is really instilled himself in the side. He doesn't look out of place at all, and is doing really, really well. So yeah.
Spot on.
Hopefully we can keep him for a bit longer because he seems like a really good lad as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was here for a little while and got a horrible injury to his knee. We thought that was going to be like, career ending. And it's just, I think he was a scout last season because obviously he was just coming back to fitness, and then he announced, I think he just said he wanted to go and play football again, which is great. I was awful to see him sign for Northampton, and obviously you've got Lee Burge as well, so they're really good mates as well. So that's great. I'm over the moon he's playing. Really, I hope he just the fact he's playing is great. Just hope he stays injury free all season. Yeah,
I think we pretty much lucked out with him, to be fair, just to get him on a free and sort of help him back, and hopefully the Burge connection helps as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sharp, I picked 2.
Nice.
Obviously, Fleetwood 0, Stevenage 3 for Matt Allen. And obviously that's what you get, Lee Johnson, for getting P&A's back.
Even though I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with Fleetwood at this moment in time, but I have a major problem now.
That's what you get. But obviously I've got to go for my boys Shrewsbury Town beating Portfield 2-1. The comeback's on. Playoffs. But they got beat on Tuesday. Shrewsbury Town 2, Portfield 1. There we are.
Get in there.
They've only scored about 12 goals all season over there as well, Shrewsbury. They're like top of the top half the table. They've scored 12 goals in 20 games or something.
I know.
The confidence is crazy.
I picked them to go up. It isn't working out.
We have a question as well for you in the chat, Danny. Aled has put, I know Northampton don't like posh and Cambridge don't like posh, but do Cobblers and Cambridge not like one another?
No, we just compete over who hates posh more. That's what we do.
I love it.
We've beaten them both this season now, so we'll take the bragging rights over both of them now. It's been enjoyable.
Peterborough, another one of those sides, aren't there, that everyone just doesn't like, bar Peterborough.
Yeah.
Going on to midweek games now, I'll ask all of you any standout games? Anybody?
You've got to go Reading again, haven't you? 5-1 over Cardiff United. That's class. Great to see them. Turning the corner, as we said, bottom of the day. But we've got to talk about the Barnsley goal, haven't we? We have got to talk about the 91st minute. Max Stryjek, formerly of Sunderland, picks up the ball. I don't know I just don't understand what he's doing there. Like, obviously, I don't know who the striker is. Whoever comes in.
Cosgrove, was it?
That's
Sam
it, yeah. I mean, is it a foul? No. And then he takes a tumble and spills the ball. It's in. It's 1-0. I mean, Wigan aren't on great form anyway. That would have been a fantastic point for them away to Barnsley at Oakwell on a horrible Tuesday night. It was probably freezing cold as well, so it's always cold in Barnsley. That's just absolutely stupid. And he deserved it, really, didn't he? You know,
he's gone down like a wet cabbage, hasn't he? Just completely collapsed. And...
Yeah, you'd have thought he'd been struck. You'd have thought the bloke coming to him like a tank, but he just more or less said hello, and it was like, whoa, yeah, it was crazy. You'd go mad. I mean, if you were an away fan, you would just go mad, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
just
if you've travelled up to Barnsley all that way on a Tuesday night, that's
oh dear.
Did you see him after the goal as well, though? He's going like, "No, you're a fucking idiot, mate."
Cosgrove don't know what to do either, does he? When he's walking away, he's just like he doesn't know whether to celebrate or not.
No, he thought it was going to be. Yeah, he thought he was going to get a foul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's mental. I mean, and I will say this about Wigan. I firmly believe that before the end of the season, Matt Bloomfield will get sacked, and Gareth Ainsworth, who weirdly enough this week said he'd rather be known as a musician first than a football man. I've never seen Gareth Ainsworth in the top 40. You know what I mean? But fair play, go for it, mate. He'll be back at Wigan, won't he? By the season's over, he will be back there. You know, it's not working out with Bloomfield. They seem to be losing quite often. Probably down to Max Stryjek being a complete and utter idiot. But good grief. I mean, I think the lads put in the chat that it should be on one of those own goals and gaffs videos, shouldn't it? You know?
Yeah.
That was just mad. If that was my goalkeeper, I'd honestly, I'd have been on the pitch. What are you doing? Never mind.
Funny. In the game below as well, Danny, do you want to talk us through that? I'm going to just quickly go and get a drink of water because I'm going to end up coughing. So you talk us through that.
And get some gravy, Danny. But yeah, I mean, like after what Blackpool did on Saturday, we all sat there thinking, you know, what are we going to expect on Tuesday night? But the madness of League One is that results like this can suddenly happen. And I think a lot of the Blackpool fans were saying after 4-0 ending Portsmouth's unbeaten run like that, the inevitable thing will be happen. We'll lose to Northampton on Tuesday night as if we're like a minnow of the league. But we've gone there and we've not gone there and sat back. We've not gone there and sort of soaked at the pressure and broke away. We've actually attacked them really well. We've gone there and took the game to them and really played some nice football and scored some decent goals. Sam Hoskins again, 11th of the season. Can't say any more about him now. He's just one of the greatest players we've seen especially in our generation, I think now. And we're just playing some really good stuff at the minute. The balance is all right. And that probably the result of the season for us, I've got to say, like going to a club like Blackpool who have got such flair going forward. The first 10 minutes, they were frightening the life out of us with their pace. You've got Dembele, who used to be playing for Celtic, it's running all over the place. They've got obviously Jordan Rhodes up front who scored the goal and equalised, but to go level at 1-1, then to come back and then to score again and to come back into the game and not settle for the point, that's not something that we necessarily do a lot. If like in the past, it would have been, you know, let's shut up shop now. Let's hold the 1-1 and hold the point. But to go and get a winner was scenes on the seaside. A brilliant result for us. We got Portsmouth coming up on Saturday as well at home, which is now becomes not essentially a free hit, but a really exciting game for us to go and test the scales against Portsmouth now to have a go at them.
Fancy it on Saturday, right? You give it a good go, do you reckon?
I wouldn't say fanciest. I know Colby Bishop's potentially out, who's been scoring a lot of goals for them. He scored 11 for them themselves. So he's got an injury, which gives them a little bit of hope. But again, I think it's one we can try and go and enjoy. It's really rare to go into a game under the pressures of League One, League Two football, where you can go and actually enjoy the afternoon for the most part, when we can go there not really expecting a result, but excited about the performance that could happen, like that happened on Tuesday night. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be a exciting time, and I think we're the only game in League One this Saturday as well, so 1 point would mean we're in the heady heights of the top half, which is madness.
Oh yeah, it's FA Cup week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's FA Cup week. Yeah, so we're the only one next week.
Love that. In the chat as well, just going back to that, Wolsey has put, I still can't believe this week winning 5-1 at home and on Saturday winning away for the first time in 378 days against Wickham. Wow.
That's a lot of away days, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, so
I would have stopped after about 206 days.
In the chat as well, Charles has put, don't ask Danny to be optimistic.
I was so pessimistic ahead of Tuesday. I was like, oh, this is we're not going to get anything here and stuff. But Charles was there at Blackpool as well on Tuesday. He had a lovely old time. I'm sure many Bovrils were downed. And the toilets at Blackpool apparently are really nice as well, I heard. You want a fun fact? Want to go to Blackpool?
We'll have to go and visit.
Yeah.
Just to go to the toilet.
Just to go to the toilet, yeah.
Then leave.
Yeah. Just in and out.
Yeah. I agree with Fifey as well. What is the FA Cup? I mean, I don't know what the FA Cup is.
No idea.
We only know round one.
We didn't even get that far, Nick, so don't worry. Hereford beat us in the qualifier. Fuming. In the chat as well, Wolsey has put, I've been 12 away games, 21 games, 2 draws, 19 defeats before
well
Wickham.
done.
Wow.
That's
and a partridge in a pear tree.
Charles has put these friendly stewards as well in Blackpool.
Oh yeah,
so.
apparently the year where they went through the turnstiles and they all said "Welcome to Blackpool" when you went in, which is a nice touch. You don't have to get that. Yeah,
that's nice. Mr. Lucas put, yeah, what's the FA Cup? Never heard of it. Exactly. What is the FA Cup? We don't talk about that on here now. I'm joking. Just looking at the league table then. So we have got new people at the top. We have got Bolton Wanderers, who are now top of the league on 39 points, and Portsmouth below them on the same points. And then the playoffs are Oxford on 36 points, Stevenage also on 36 points. I mean, wow.
Tremendous, isn't it? It's
Stevenage,
so good.
it's mental. It's a good mental, obviously, but wow.
Steve Evans has just got it, hasn't he? It's the underdog spirit of it. I think that's why it didn't really work out for him at Leeds, because they've got that expectation about him that he might not have matched in terms of what he wanted them to do. But he's picked up a team like Stevenage, complete underdogs, and he's taken them last season unexpected, but this season ridiculous, unbelievable.
100%. It's just mega. They've recruited really well, though. I know Matt's mentioned it a few times, but they have really recruited well. 5th place, we have Peterborough on 35 points, Derby below them in the last playoff spot on 33 points. And then in relegation, we have Fleetwood, which is lovely to see. No offence, Fleetwood fans, but I am fuming with you. You have overtook AFC Fylde now. That's how bad it is. We have Carlisle below them on 15 points, Reading on 13 points. It's good to see them obviously getting points and closing in. It's absolutely brilliant. And Cheltenham, obviously bottom on 12 points.
Look who's in capital letters for the first time this season. Just sneaking in there. Shrewsbury.
You never know, Anne.
Is that what happens when you go to the top half? Is it you get capitals?
You get capital letters.
Oh, that's the carrot. I'm going to phone John Brady up tonight and tell him you get a point. Get a point on Saturday.
I want to come back on next week and be in capital letters.
Yeah.
Brady.
Mr. Luke has made a statement in the chat. He thinks they're going to be a league title for Stevenage.
No chance. No, can't see that.
He's made a massive statement.
If they can make the playoffs, that'd be brilliant. That'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Charles as well. But what did Fleetwood do? Once this podcast ends, go back to the beginning of the episode and you will see what Fleetwood did. And wrote a song all about it. So please go and watch that because it is absolutely brilliant.
I did make a slight mistake. I was calling them Kean Hens instead of Kean.
Oh, don't worry.
Very, very
Do
sorry.
not worry.
It just didn't work with Kean. You know what I mean? I had to call him
To be
Kean.
fair, I thought it was just your accent. I didn't even know. Shawnee has put Northampton closing in on the top half. Getting. Yeah, 100%. Brilliant.
Come on.
Aled has put Yeovil for us this weekend, expecting them to come with a chip on the shoulder as it was because we relegated them. Oh, tasty. And then Mr. Luke, smash them please. We lost to them last round. Oh, awkward.
I know we're not really talking about the FA Cup because like no one's in it, but it is one of the greatest thrills in football. The FA Cup third round draw, isn't it? And I mean, I am very much looking forward to it, and I can't wait till we get someone like Huddersfield or some crap like that. I want to see a Premier League side, a non-league side. I want Stockport obviously because me and Claire can meet up, but I know we'll get Norwich at home. And I want that. You know what I mean? Gillingham away, some crap.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. Christ.
Yeah.
I've been in that stand before, Nick, honestly. It's like, you ever seen the Final Destination films?
100% scary. So, we are on to League Two. And Nick, do you want to talk about Swindon?
Yes, I can gladly talk about Swindon because on last week's pod, I was on a bit of a downer saying there's only one way we're going at the moment, and that's down. There's no way we were going to beat Mansfield. Couldn't see it happening. But the manager actually did what a lot of us have been asking him to do and change their formation. Now, whether that through Mansfield, I've been saying we want to go 4-1-4-1, go to a back four. He kept the back five, but he put an extra man in midfield, played one up front, and put Charlie Austin on the bench, which is quite a big shout. Austin, he is captain. Obviously he's the big name in Swindon, and it worked, and it worked really well. First half, I can only do it from reports because I didn't actually get to the game, unfortunately. So maybe I'm the jinx. So maybe I ought to stay away a bit more. But yeah, Mansfield, from the reports, most people were saying they didn't look that good. They were pretty average. Cloughy got his tactics wrong. We scored young, a lovely lone player. So I don't fall in love with a lone player because we're going to lose him in January. Young's opened the score in the 38th minute. A free kick from another lone player, Kemp, knocked the ball into the box. He was on his own in the 6-yard box from a free kick. And he hit his shot. He sort of sliced across the ball. I think if it had connected as it intended, it had probably either gone over the bar or hit the keeper. But he sort of sliced it into the far corner. I mean, it's a good take, good position. That put us a dodgy 1-0 up at half time because I think we'd lost the last 3 games after leading at half time. So it's like, oh, Christ, here we go. And then within 5 minutes of the second half, we give away a poor goal. They go basically right through our defence, and Atkins scores to make it 1 each, and you sort of fear the worst. And I think from there it was fairly even. He put Aidan Flint, ex-player of ours, up front. He's like, I don't know what he is, 6'6". Put him up front for the last 5 or 10 minutes. We brought Charlie Austin on near the end, and for some reason, Clough left Flint up, which was great for us because the goal we scored, if you see the goal, it's just the most wonderful scrambled goal that you love to see. But leading up to the goal, I counted it, so I watched it back. There was a 17-pass move built from the back before the ball was crossed in. Centre half headed it away. It was picked up. The other substitute, Shade, picked it up, did a sort of a little jig in front of the defender, trying to move him out of the way. Got enough space for the cross, straight onto Austin's head. He hit the post, come back to him, turned, hit his shot, cleared off the line. The ball went rebounded straight to Young. It come off his foot, hit the post, back to him, and he managed to stab it in the 93rd minute. I mean, it was just, the wonderful goal you want to see. And to end Mansfield Town's unbeaten run, which is even sweeter because I think it's last season we ended their 12-month unbeaten run at home. So Cloughy must hate us because we seem to do him over whoever he's managing. So I mean, that was just a fantastic result for us. It was sorely needed because that was our first win, I think, in 9. So we'd been really struggling. But the change of formation was the key. Kinsella, who hadn't got much game time this season, put him into the midfield. That gave us a bit more solid. he's he's not the biggest of players, but he gets stuck in. He likes to tackle. He's a bit aggressive, and that's what we needed in there. And it freed Khan up. So much so that it freed Khan up, who played well. We'll come to Tuesday. He played well Tuesday, and now we see that Wrexham are apparently sniffing around him for a 350 grand fee. How much truth's in that, we don't know. So, but yeah, it was a great performance, a great points, and which is what we sorely needed. So, and I was so happy to be proved wrong. Brilliant.
Love that. Claire's in the chat as well, very smug, saying that she told you so.
She did, yes. I believe everything you say now, Claire. I'm with you all the way.
We said the same about Rochdale, and we've run 3, so Claire knows. Mystic
Claire knows. All these people. I'll just give a little shout out for you and Claire, because I've seen it recently. On Twitter, I'll still call it Twitter. All these people that say you girls know nothing about football. You guys don't know what you're talking about. These lasses, they are top. You listen to them; they know what they're talking about.
Definitely.
Oh, thanks, Nick. Thank you.
Claire, can you please sprinkle some good luck on us, please?
Please. Don't take any off us, though. It's enough to share around. Speaking of our very own as well, Sam is in the chat. Hello, lower league people. Just in time for a Nick Swindon win fire. There's a lot of people talking about the Wrexham game as well in the chat. And wow, I mean, Morecambe, we mentioned a few weeks ago, and I think we have been the jinx for Morecambe, because we mentioned that they were slowly going on their business, weren't they? Quietly winning games, obviously doing well. And since then, I think we've jinxed them. But
yeah, I think I might have said something along those lines. So I am very, very sorry to any Morecambe fan. You know what I mean? There's more proof that the girls know more than the lads, because I know absolutely.
Oh man! But yeah, what a result, obviously, for Wrexham. And as my synopsis, Claire has put, before I go to Danny, do you want to read that, Ant?
I will. Yes. Hang on. It's here.
It's in song form.
Do you want me to? No, it's not. I'm afraid not. No, it's a very long. It'll be a long song. I'll be here all night. I'll do it in a bit of a Jackanory kind of, you know. The day started well. A lovely drive to Newport, followed by me falling out the car and smashing my knee open, tripping over Hannah's bag. Brackets sober. We don't believe you, do we? The football did very little to improve my mood. We were well off the pace and just looked really, really sloppy. I'm trying not to do this in Claire's accent. I'm really struggling. The steers will show. I think that's stats. The stats will show we were all right, but absolutely weren't. 66% possession, 13 shots, 8 corners, and a partridge in a pear, and a penalty shout out not given. We received an apology from the officials yet again. I need to go off on that. What is the point in them bloody apologies from the FA? We've had 5 this season. What is the point in them? That's from me, not Claire, sorry. But a point wouldn't have been fair. Walking back to my seat for the second half, I managed to stumble over a really oddly placed ramp with a small curb. If I'm really honest, I don't remember the second half whatsoever. Despite being sober, apparently pain makes you lose your head. I sat in the hospital on Saturday and I talked to my friend about how we deserved to lose and how I'd completely forgotten Tantal scoring a late consolation goal. There we go.
Bless you, Claire. And that is why we've not got a segment of Where's Claire this week, because she's not been able to go anywhere. She's at home with a bad foot. So we are sending all our love to you, Claire. We love you. Just going on as well to the chat, I mentioned the Wrexham game. Aled has actually gave his thoughts as well. He's put, what a game. We could have been 5-0 at half-time. Morecambe didn't look like a top half side today. Defensively poor and didn't cause our defence many problems. A response from the loss away at Accrington. Danny, any standout results for you in League Two from Saturday?
Yeah, let's look at Barrow actually winning at Colchester. They came to us in the FA Cup a few weeks ago and turned us over. I know we don't want to talk about the FA Cup much, but they beat us in the first round at home. And I thought they were a really good side. They've got some really strong players. They've got some good experience at the back with James Chester. good players on the wing. Up front, obviously, Dom Telford will do the business as he always does.
100%.
Not quite sure how they got him to go to Barrow. But I mean, I heard that they didn't sort of pay an awful lot for him. But yeah, really, really good side when they came to us. And I'm not really surprised because Pete Wild's just got him going
He's
at that
brilliant.
level.
He's a brilliant manager. Him.
Yeah, and like we said with Steve Evans, he's the type of character who can get behind, get an underdog up and get them really firing. And in League Two at the minute, it's absolutely something crazy. Looking down at it this season, we were like, we're so glad we're out of it because we looked down and we thought you got your Stockports, your Wrexhams, your Notts Counties, the Mansfield, the Swindon, everybody, all the usual suspects, but also loads of money as well. Like even Gillingham coming up with their funding as well. You got Crewe doing well; they're always going to be up there, and you got a lot of good teams up there. And Barrow were just sneaking in there, and and it says so much about Pete Wild, about what he can do to a club. Yeah. And he did the same with Halifax, that he gets a group of players and he just takes them on a ride. And to take Barrow up into the playoffs again this season is unbelievable. And really, really good, solid team. They're going to upset a lot of people this year, the same way Stevenage did last season. I mean, there's no reason why they can't stay up there. They're scoring goals. They play good football, and who knows where they can take them.
Yeah, they've won their last 5 games in the league.
Yeah.
So and like you say about being tight, they've only conceded 16 goals. So I think Fife was on about it the other day that a quote from I think Alex Ferguson: "Goals win you games, defenses win you titles." So they say to only concede 16 when you think Wrexham had conceded 31 goals. Yeah, and obviously Wrexham has scored a lot of goals, but yeah, you want a tight defence, don't you? Especially in something like League Two, because it's such a crazy league this season.
Yeah, and I think that kind of experience of last season helped Barrow as well to kind of to start that process off, and they've got that year of experience. Whereas Wrexham have come in all guns blazing, sort of carnage all over the place. It might not be as sustainable as Barrow, who has slowly built it, and they've got a real good chance to.
Yeah, like Notts County as well. They've slipped a bit, so a lot of us said we can't see Wrexham going straight up again, but. They're sitting second at the moment, so who knows? It depends what happens it's saying it all around what happens in January. That's going to be the key to a lot of teams.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. I just want to mention as well, my standout game of the week as well is Tranmere 3, Gillingham 1. I mean, what a result for Tranmere. That's massive. Gillingham obviously got a new manager. They've not really been great since sacking obviously Neil Harris, but Tranmere, that is absolutely massive for them. So what a result for them.
Brilliant. Over the moon for them as well. Gillingham, massive.
In the comments
since he left us, it's all gone downhill, hasn't it?
I know. I know. In the comments as well, 5 years put Artell will do well at Grimsby. I completely forgot he's gone. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely
as long as the pitch isn't bobbly, then Artell will be fine. Gotta get that in every time his name gets made.
In the chat as well, Simon has put, the FA can shove their apologies. We need better officials, not bloody apology letters. I completely agree. They can shove it where the sun don't shine. Aled has put as well on the Wrexham chat, happy to just be in the automatics, but we have been clicking in the past month, so who knows after the January transfer window. He's also put, the start was a blip, we were just adjusting, and almost no pre-season to prepare for the season. He's also said Artell is a great appointment. And 5 years put, no pre-season, you went on tour and everything.
Yeah, I was actually gonna point that out, because obviously that's when Mullen got injured, didn't he, on tour and played Man U, when Nathan Bishop came and broke his collarbone or something, didn't he? Or punctured his lung.
Punctured lung.
Yeah. Nathan Bishop's now at Sunderland. There we go.
Going on to Tuesday's games, and it's only right we let Nick talk about Swindon because it is the top one. And what a game that seemed to look!
Oh my God, this is so Swindon. It's so Swindon. Let's start the positives. That was our first away win since August, because we've been terrible away from home, throwing points away left, right, and centre. Cold Tuesday night. at Accrington, which is what you don't want. Fair play to Accrington. They were giving the Swindon fans vouchers for 2 hot drinks during the game. So fair play to them. Little things like that mean a lot to people. So, thumbs up there. Yeah. First half, I watched it on iFollow. We played some really good football, stroking the ball around well. Really good. Went ahead with a penalty. It was a definite pen. No issue with that. Then scored a cracking goal from Young yet again to make it 2-0, and looked comfortable scoreline. Second half, we got an absolute screamer from Khan, sort of 25, 30 yards with his left foot into the top corner, 3-0. Yeah, that's it. Sorted it. Brought Charlie Austin on. He got a fourth. Typical Charlie goal. Ball played across to him. Control, good touch. Slotted it under the keeper. They'd also missed a penalty. Our keeper saved it. It looks a bit of a harsh penalty, apparently for handball, but you couldn't really see whether it was. It wasn't a clear-cut one, but the ref gave it, and our keeper saved it. So that was a tick. And for those 90 minutes, it was like, oh, this is great. Clean 4-0, clean sheet. Manager makes a couple of subs, brings off a centre half who's a young kiddie from the academy. He's only 19, but he's a real big lad, plays well. Put another young kid from the academy on, took off a midfielder, put another young kid from the academy on. And it's no blame on them. And we just completely fell apart. 92nd minute, they pulled one back. Thought, oh, yeah, okay. Not a problem. 97th minute, they pulled another one back, like 4-2, and it's like, oh, Christ. Yeah, well, yeah, that's okay. And then all the way through, the commentary, obviously the Swindon Town commentator, was saying all the way through that Accrington aren't out of this game, even when it was 2 and 3-0. They're not out of the game. The man of the match will prove it was our keeper. So that goes to show how the game went. He pulled us in a couple of cracking saves, coming off his line fast at the feet of players, very brave, did really well. They got a third one, just like, what the hell's going on in the 10th minute of stoppage time? And you thought, oh, great, it's the 10th minute, it's the last minute is stoppage time. We take the kick-off, and you need to have a look at it. We do what we do quite a lot from the kick-offs, pass it straight back to the keeper, who's like 10 yards outside his box. He dallies on the ball, gets tackled. The ball breaks to their forward on the left-hand side. It's like, oh, geez, he's going to score. He shoots when he should have squared it because there was a player open. Blake Tracy clears it off of the line for a corner. Then from the resulting corner, they take it quick. Guy comes into the penalty area, powers the header down. It's going straight to one of their players virtually on the post. And thankfully, it goes between his legs out for a goal kick. And then it was, if there's ever a Swindon game to watch, that was it. And, you can say it's a 7-goal thriller. It's a 7-goal horror show that people were saying, how can Swindon score 4 goals away from home, win the game, and the fans leave frustrated? It's just absolutely crazy. And I see a stat the other day. So if you want entertainment, just come and watch Swindon. We average 4 goals a game, 25 games. We've scored 50 goals and we've let in 52. And that just about sums it up. We got a cracking forward line, top scorers. We got the top scorer across all the leagues in Jake Young, who unfortunately is going to go back to Bradford in January. But we've got decent players, but defensively, we are poor. We are so poor defensively. So, yeah, but it's 2 wins, and we're on an unbeaten run of 3 games. 7 points. 7 points from 3 games, 2 away games, 2 long trips. So
and you're still complaining, Nick.
Honestly, you've got to sit through a Swindon game and you'll understand. It was. And then their next home game, you're just talking about, and we've got Barrow for our next home game. We got Wimbledon. We haven't got a game Saturday because it's that strange thing called the FA Cup, which we don't know much about. Then we've got Wimbledon away and then Barrow at home. So all games are tough in the leagues, aren't they? But a couple of tough games coming up. But yeah, the pleasing thing is we did hang in and get the 3 points. We thought, oh God, it's going to be another Rochdale.
Honestly, I feel like we have so many similarities watching Rochdale and Swindon. I feel like we talk about the same thing.
Yeah,
like we're scoring
100%.
goals, bad defence. We're so frustrating. And obviously, our best players are lone players who we think will go back. So.
Yeah, all the way through. Yeah, we've got, say, Kemp and Young. I think that was Kemp's 10th goal. I think Young's on 15, and they're both lone players. And say that now Wrexham are apparently sniffing around Khan, who's out of contract at the end of the season. So if we get a decent offer, what are the club going to do? Oh, I think we'll sell him. But that's what you get supporting a team like Swindon. It's never dull, that's for sure.
Oh, bless. In the chat as well, Mr. Lucas put, if Charlie Austin didn't score that 4th goal, that would be something else. Alan has put, terrible week for Morecambe, lost to the 2 Welsh sides in the league. I know. Like I said before, we've definitely jinxed them. Great spot as well, Aled. Half of the fixtures are draws. They are, aren't they? There's a lot of white in that graphic. And Shawnee has put, just a surprise for you, Shah. I went to school with Rochdale's head of physical performance, Ben Eakins. Oh, love it. Love that. Any other standout results from you, Danny and Anne?
Well, let someone else have a go for a minute. I've got a report on the Stockport game, which I can do in a sec.
We don't talk about 0-0s. You're all right there, Nick.
No, I've got a whole booklet on it for Claire.
I was going to go with Newport beating Morecambe. Actually, we touched on Morecambe a minute ago, but unbeaten at home all season going into this game, and then Newport to go and do that after what they did at the weekend against Stockport as well. What a result that was! Won't mention it too loudly, but to go and beat Stockport on Saturday after some iffy form, and then to go to Morecambe away on a Tuesday night. Morecambe on the upper reaches, obviously decent club for that level as well. To go there I don't know if you've seen pictures of the pitch, it looked like an ice rink. Morecambe's pitch on Tuesday.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then to go behind and then have to come back as well. That's a proper Graham Coughlin type performance to go there and to go behind on a Tuesday night and to come back into it and fight their way back into a victory. It's a huge win for them. It's the type of win that you get as a club and you think it starts to push you back in the right direction again, because I think some of their fans would have been slightly worried about getting dragged in at the other end. So to go on a Tuesday night to Morecambe and get that is a great result.
Yeah.
I think the other standout result is Tranmere getting a draw at Mansfield.
Yeah.
Good week for Tranmere. Very good.
You've broke them, Nick. You've broke them.
Yeah, excellent. Well, look, all for that. 100%. Shall I go through Claire's review of her game?
Yeah, mine was Newport as well, so I haven't got anything to add.
She said it was one of the games were never lucky with a goal. Their keeper was absolutely outstanding, although she said he was wasting time from the first minute, so fair play. Collar picked up an injury that'll keep him out for weeks, and I've seen quite a bit on social media about Nick Powell from Stockport fans saying that he's poor, shouldn't be in the team, and Claire's basically said he's a very clever football brain at the moment, but the rest of the players don't seem to be on the same wavelength. So is a player ever too good for a side? So, I mean, from his history, he's going to be a good player, and maybe it's not quite clicking there, which was probably a pity because he is obviously a decent player. She said they deserve more than a point. Performance was better than Newport, but not great. Salford battled hard. They have a few injury worries, and I suppose at the end of the day, probably after getting beat obviously you want to put it right with a follow-up victory, but at least it wasn't another defeat, which could easily happen. So sounds like it's a bit of a frustrating game, but you get those, and especially in this league, like you say, there's so many draws on there. and it is so close. As I say, we're still just outside the playoffs, and that was their first couple of wins in in the last 11 games now. So it just shows how tight this league is, and that's probably obviously they'll be disappointed at dropping points, but at least they didn't lose again. So
100%. 100%. Mr. Luke in the chat has put as well. I don't know if anyone else saw. During the Gillingham game, the floodlights went out and the game finished just past 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, I
It's
read they
happened
had
a couple of
floodlight
times.
problems. Yeah.
Was it Gillingham and Mansfield who used to start the games early a couple of seasons ago to start the games early at home because they didn't want to put the floodlights on? Was that Mansfield?
I'm sure it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just to prolong EFC Wimbledon fans' agony, you got to stay in Gillingham after 10 o'clock.
I know.
Never advisable, I've got to say.
No.
I was going to say, if they managed to get out, they've done well.
Claire has mentioned this a few times as well. She makes everybody sing when it's the first appearance, and she's asked Danny.
I wasn't prepared
She's
for that.
got, what's your initiation song? She said it a few times, and I've tried to brush over it, but she sent it again.
I wasn't prepared for that. Next time maybe. I'll make up some version of "We Didn't Start the Fire" and throw in some football league names or something.
So the League Two table, we have Stockport, who are top on 42 points. Wrexham are second on 37 points. Barrow are third on 37 points as well. I mean, wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? Playoffs, obviously, we have got Mansfield in fourth on 36 points. Crewe also in 36 points. Notts County also on 36 points. And we have Gillingham on 31 points. And Swindon are there just outside on 30 points. We'll give them a shout out.
Yes, keep under the radar. There's a long way to go.
And at the bottom, we've got no change. In 23rd, we have Forest Green on 15 points and Sutton United on 14 points.
One MK is bad enough. It seems like they've appeared twice. I was like,
I put them twice.
they're 11th and 3rd.
I tell you, this is astonishing.
Yeah, it's me and the graphic. Sorry, everybody.
I just deserve to jumped out the league completely just for that.
We have got as well, Aled, he has put about Wrexham. Great in the first half, then gifted a goal to them in the dying moments of the first half. The second half, we were poor, conceding early second half, rushed our passes.
They do it on purpose, Charles.
I know!
It's not even a real player.
An injury. Oh, funny. And then we have Simon, who has put Gillingham's ground is A, and I'll just let you read the rest with a poo emoji.
James Cleverly Hall.
Davo could go from nearly playing in Premier League to non-league in the space of 12 months. And we have got Simon, good to see Wimbledon are above the franchise. And Mr. Luke, we are getting onto the National League, so if you do want to send in your report on Gateshead, I will read it.
That, Chad, going back to your league table.
Yep.
That 13th should be Crawley.
But
you've put them out of the league is where they belong, so it's not a problem.
I did it for you, Nick.
Thank you.
I did it for you. I'm always thinking about you. You're my good pal.
We are going to make it out the league.
I know. I will just quickly go through these results of National League One. So we've got AFC filed free, Dorking free. Dorking, obviously, doing better now. They went through a really rocky stage at one point. I know they won at the weekends. Oh, no, they won the weekend before that, sorry. Oh, no, midweek. We're Tuesday. I'm getting all my bearings mixed up. So, yeah, they are picking up points. Aldershot 1, FC Halifax 0. FC Halifax are really struggling as of late. I know Aldershot are in quite good form, but FC Halifax, we've actually overtook them now. So, yeah, they're hitting a bit of bad form. Altrincham 6, Solihull Moors 1. Solihull Moors are slowly dropping off. They had a really good start to the season. Altrincham, obviously, I've said a few times on this podcast, they are one of mine to watch. They have some really good players. Obviously, scoring 6 goals as well. They went through a bit of a bad patch, so they are back to winning ways. Boreham Wood 4, Woking 2. Great result for Boreham Wood. Woking have been going through a really bad patch as well. I think Claire mentioned last week they got rid of their manager. So I don't know if anyone has gone to Woking yet, but really struggling. One of the games I was most looking forward to as well, Chesterfield 3, Eastleigh 2, because Eastleigh playing some really good stuff at the minute. They've got a lot of good players. They've got Quigley, who was obviously played for us last season. He's scoring the goals. Chesterfield just seem to be nicking it, though, as much as obviously we keep saying week in, week out, they're doing very well. They just seem to be getting away with things at the minute, Chesterfield, which is so frustrating. But yeah, great win for them again. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Rochdale 2. I will talk about this.
Somebody
Hayes
scored a good goal, didn't he?
I know. Ian Henderson. I'm joking. I know.
The goal.
I know, the goal. We played some really good stuff this game. And obviously, everyone, I think, has seen the goal. I've been retweeting it as well quite a few times and tagging him in it. Cian Hayes, what an absolute peach of a goal from him. And then Ian Henderson, going back to old school Ian Henderson, but Rochdale fans love to see, obviously, before he went to Salford, the Ian Henderson that we know, chipped the goalkeeper, which was a brilliant goal. And then I have come here every week mentioning our defence and how annoying we keep letting in these goals. And their goal was so frustrating because I thought to myself, we've got this one in the bag now. Another clean sheet because Louis Molden played really well, made some really good saves. Another clean sheet in the bag. But one of their players decided to kick the ball. It then ricocheted off two of our players, went straight back to a Dagenham and Redbridge player, and he scored. This is how typical it is. Our defence, honestly, is so frustrating, but we still managed to win. We made it difficult for ourselves, do not get me wrong, in the final few minutes. We really did, but yeah, what another great win. Cian Hayes, obviously, sadly, we have lost him. He has gone back to Fleetwood. Didn't want that to happen because, as I've said, he's been that little glimmer of hope and that person who's been kind of... I've come on and said how much of an exciting player he is, and he's been one of them players that we haven't seen in a while at Rochdale. And yeah, it's just sad to see that he's gone back. But on the positive side, Tyree Sinclair is back from injury, and obviously he was scoring for fun before he got injured. So at least we have got that. We have got that. And I know a lot of people obviously were mentioning on Twitter about us apparently not paying our players and paying staff members. We only paid them 25%. And that's because obviously we are rumoured to be getting a takeover. It's supposed to be going through this week. I don't know if it actually is. Our members of staff were getting paid on the 30th, which obviously was today, the remaining wage because the payroll has changed. So as far as I know, they have got paid, which is good because a lot of people saw this tweet and were like, oh, what's happening to Rochdale? Did up them points, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it is because of obviously we are getting taken over. So the payroll date has changed. So I'm hoping we find out some answers soon because I want to know as well. But that is the rumour anyway.
Have you got any idea who it is or anything like that? Sorry, Anne.
That's right.
I've seen a lot of people say it's... Do not take this as actual kosher. This is just what people have been saying and rumours going round. But it's ex-Rochdale player Guy Branston. He's something to do with it. Yeah.
The first one as well, yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's something to do with it. But it's not just him. It's I think there's an American guy who's a business owner who's basically the money behind it, I think. And then I think people are saying is some radio presenter as well what's to do with it. So this, I know it's mad.
It's Emma Bunton.
Exactly, I know. I hope so. I love the Spice
Emma Bunton
Girls.
and Guy Branston.
I know. But yeah, they are the names that are going round and the rumours, but I am not 100% sure. So anybody watching this, don't think that is who's taking over because that is just what Rochdale fans have heard and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure, but they are the rumours going round. But I'm hoping I'm hoping I've begged for investment, so I'm hoping obviously this could be something positive for us.
He'll
And
get you have a pickle, won't he?
Exactly. And I'm half hoping as well. I know this is going to be massive, but I'm half hoping to make a statement by taking over and buying Keane Hayes. That is my wish anyway.
The joke went completely over your head there.
I was just going to let it drift in the
I'm
ether.
numb.
But no, I mean, for you know, you all, well, I say you all know we've just met down tonight, but you all know what I think about Rochdale. One of my favourite away days when we were in League One, and this whistle stop tour ended up being 4 damn years. But just please, whoever it is, I just hope it's good news at the end of it, because we just want to see Rochdale back on the Football League well.
I hope so.
There's so many clubs. Sorry.
No, go on, Danny.
No, so there's just so many clubs in League Two last season, even that you just look at and they bring like a couple of 10, 15 fans on a Tuesday night, and they don't feel like as proper a football club as Rochdale do. Like Rochdale are such a proper football club. You got so much respect for. I was so sad to see you go down. So I really, really hope, like Anne said, it's good news coming your way. So I want to see you back in the league. Really do.
Oh, thank you. I'm hoping as well, if it is obviously something to do with this guy Branston, and he's played for us before. I know it was only a loan signing, but obviously I think he's been at games and stuff before, and I think he's got that link to Rochdale. So I'm hoping from that point of view, it's hopefully someone who does care about the club, and I'm just hoping so, because I feel like when something good happens, like we're actually starting to do stuff on the pitch now, it's as if it never rains, but it pours with us. So you'll get that little bit of hope and you think, oh, nice one. Things are going well on the pitch. And then obviously that tweet went out from the Sky Sports agent who said we've not been paying our staff and our players. And then obviously that with Keane Hayes. So I'm just hoping like we do get some good luck, because we've never really had that before, and we've not really had the budget over the years to compete. It's either been you sell a player or you get a cup run, for us to obviously sustain and be able to obviously compete in a higher level. And we've just not had that the past few seasons. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it is our time, but we will see. Yeah, really I'm not getting my hopes up just yet until it's final and I see everything in black and white. The next game, obviously, Gateshead 1, Southend 1. So we will go to Mr. Luke in the chat. He has put, the overall performance from Southend was a very frustrating game in front of goal. Every chance we had, except for Stephen Wern's goal, we had smashed it over the bar.
Excellent.
even though we did play well, it was just an even game between us. The draw was a fair result from both sides, looking back at it, mainly more towards Southend. Southend are a hell of a good side, I completely agree, considering that they had 13 players playing at our place, totally in false position in the league. I completely agree, and I've said it all along. I still think they will finish high up, and if they can invest in January and this takeover does go through for them, I think they will get playoffs. Yeah. I think their manager is a very good manager.
You would think they've probably got players ready to go now. They're just waiting for this, the takeover, the embargo to win, and then it'll probably, fill up with they just need they need a depth on the bench, don't they? Because if they get 3 or 4 injuries, then we're struggling, aren't we? But fingers crossed for them.
100%. And he's also put to finish off. But we've got Woking on Saturday at their place. Should be an interesting game for us. We could either win it or lose it.
Or draw it.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything to chance, Ant.
Everyone in the chat as well, bless them, are saying that they hope that Rochdale get a good owner. So thank you so much. Glenn has put Branston pickle.
Yes.
I do get it. Now I thought back. To be fair, I didn't hear that, but yeah, I do get it. I do like Branston pickle, to be honest. I do like pickles. Hartlepool 1, Bromley 4. I mean, Bromley are smashing it at the minute, and I don't want to say too much about them because we've got them away on Saturday, but
that's a difficult game, isn't it?
Very difficult. I would have been really confident about that one, but obviously circumstances with losing, I know I keep going on about it, but losing a player like Keane Hayes, it's going to be a massive loss. like I've said, though, Tyree Sinclair is back. Devante Rodney as well is coming back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some out of it. But I think it should be a good game on paper, Bromley and Rochdale, because we both score goals. So should be an interesting one.
Bromley managed by one of our Cobbler's legends in Andy Woodman. He was our keeper when I was growing up in the 90s. To make myself sound ancient, but he was like one of my heroes growing up. So when we met him last year, they did like a 20-year reunion of our win at Wembley, and he was there. And let's just say I had a lovely old time with some of his old teammates. But he's a proper good guy. I know a lot. He winds opposition fans up at no ends, but he's an absolute legend. And we said to him, one day, do you see yourself managing here? And he said he'd love to. So I'm sure he will start to get offers soon, because he's taken them again season after season in that league to the top end of the table, and again smashing it. If he wasn't for Chesterfield, they'd be right at the top, wouldn't they?
100%.
That's good maths by myself there. Obviously, take the team above them away, and they'd be top. But no, I love Woody. He's a great guy, and really good to see him doing well.
Hopefully, we won't win on Saturday. We can lose this one, and then he can have the rest of a good season, because we would have played him twice then.
Oh, really? You've played teams twice already?
Yeah.
They play about 6 games a week in National League.
Honestly, it's mental.
They had the midweek off, didn't they, for the first time in about 7 weeks.
Honestly, it's always mental, isn't it, in National League? Maidenhead 1, York City 1, Oldham 1, Ebbsfleet 4, a result I love to see. I mean, absolutely brilliant from Ebbsfleet.
How Mancunian did you sound there? I love to see.
Because I'm excited. I mean, Oldham, not my favourite team ever. They're one of our rivals, so it's always good to see them get beat, especially at home, especially a thrashing against a team near the bottom of the league. So brilliant.
Struggling, aren't they? And then to go to Oldham and do that, like 3 goals in the last 10 minutes, I think, there as well. And they've just, to go to Oldham and do that, it's impressive.
Don't get me wrong, they beat us 1-0, so I can't say anything, but at least it was only 1-0. They love to beat the northern teams, Ebbsfleet.
They don't like their gravy, apparently. Apparently, they're really.
I know. Oxford City 2, Kidderminster 2, and then we have Wealdstone 3, Barnet 2. Barnet have been really struggling as of late.
Off a cliff, haven't they?
Yeah. Wealdstone keep nicking these like last-minute goals as well. So absolutely fantastic from Wealdstone. Barnet, obviously, as we mentioned, going through a major blip at the minute. In the chat, Mr. Luke has put, I love it. I think that's taking a mick out of me. And then Alan has put, feels weird not having midweek games anymore.
I wish we never had a bloody midweek game.
I know. And then looking at the table, I know.
Normally in such a good mood on these podcasts.
It's just like joy everywhere else. Then just cut to
I know. Literally, last week, me and Nick were flip-flops because I think did we win? No, we didn't even play, and I was happy. And Nick was so sad. He was like, "Oh, I can see you finishing 18th." No, looking over his shoulder. No,
well, at least I haven't got a game on Saturday to worry about.
Yeah, point off the playoffs.
The National League table, we have Chesterfield, who are still top of the league on 53 points. We have Bromley in second on 42 points. Barnet in third on 42 points. We have Solihull Moors in fourth place on 37 points. Gateshead in fifth place on 36 points. Aldershot in sixth place on 36 points. Altrincham in seventh place on 35 points. And we are eighth, just below the playoffs on 33 points. Woo!
That's a tight league, isn't it? Look at ours.
Very tight league.
27 points and the 12th, but they're only 5 points off relegation.
I know. Mad, isn't it?
That is tight, like, yeah.
Mad. And then in relegation, we have in 21st place, Ebbsfleet on 22 points, Oxford City in 22nd on 21 points, AFC Fylde 23rd on 18 points, and bottom of the league table in 24th place, we have Kidderminster on 16 points.
Yeah, and Oxford, sorry, Oxford messed up a bit because they were 2-0 up against Kidderminster, weren't they?
Yeah.
Which they needed a win there to move out. Just looking at the teams in there, I saw a clip. I think it was Gateshead. Was it Gateshead that scored, they'd say, the best goal in the National League, where it went through past every single player.
Yeah.
And it was just one touch passing. I don't know whether it was this season or last season, but it was built out all the way from the back, one touch passing. Every single player had an involvement in the goal. It was absolutely superb.
They play some really good stuff, Gate said. Obviously,
Yeah,
Mr. Luke's in the chat, but when they played us and the football that they play is brilliant. And obviously, they lost the manager and they still play that football under this manager, I think Mr. Luke was saying as well, which is really good to see. Because people, obviously, and I was one of them, to be fair, before obviously we came down to the National League. You just assume, like, in the National League, it's just going to be hoofball, but it's really not. You actually get your teams who do play some really good football, and it's like Jim McNulty. He's trying to play this possession-based football with us as well, and as much as it is very frustrating, you can kind of see what he wants to do, and there's a lot of really good teams in the National League, to be fair, because I didn't expect it. I thought, oh, here we go. There's going to be like just hoofball and stuff like that. But no, it's really good.
Is it Rob Elliott in charge of Gateshead at the minute?
It is,
Ex-Newcastle player, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Obviously, that's the end of the football chat. So thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much to you guys here as well. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. Nick, where can everybody find you if you want a bit more of Nick in their lives?
I can start posting a few bits now. We're actually on a winning streak. It's I'm on Twitter. Ocus_road is where you'll find me, and also obviously do the Fools Rushing podcast on a Monday and a Friday, which keeps us on the straight and narrow. Even though Fifey doesn't like Marmite, so I have to sort him out.
I know. Sort him out, Nick.
Oh, we will.
Give him a telling off. Anne, where can everybody find you?
Currently sat in the corner crying my eyes out until we win another game. But
writing masterpiece Christmas songs as well.
Yeah. Lad Baby, you're in for a little bit of a dynamic this year. Anyway, sorry. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Ant_Waterson. I'm the host of the How Are the Lasses podcast, which is the only Sunderland women dedicated podcast. We've got quite a good cup game actually against Durham Sestria coming up, which is Durham's feeder club. A little bit of a bit needle between us and Durham, so that'll be fun. And anywhere else really, just enjoy. What a Ball Ache podcast as well. Still trying to do that with Gary. Doing my best. Thank you everyone tonight. Really enjoyed it. You've cheered me up. Everyone.
Good.
3 wonderful people have cheered me up in the wind.
Good on you, Ant.
I love that. And Danny, thank you so much for being on the podcast tonight. We've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Pleasure. Loved it. Really good to be here. Really enjoyed it. Love the chat. Everything.
Where can everybody find you?
At Danny Brothers on the X, Twitter, whatever it's called, and podcast. It's all Cobblers to Me. So that's at Cobblers to Me on all the socials and stuff. We do a game review every Monday, released every Tuesday, and then we do a preview show every Friday with an opposition fan of the team we're about to play every Friday. So but keep busy. So it's good stuff. If you fancy some cobblers in your life, which why wouldn't you?
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. Just want to say as well, obviously, before we got relegated, I've been on a podcast and it's really good. So please go and support it as well. It's always a pleasure to appear on it. I'm hoping sometime soon we will. I'm hoping it's us jumping up and not
hope so. really hope that's the case.
A few years, or possibly the FA Cup if we ever get there again.
It'll have to be the first round though, because we won't.
I know. And if anybody wants to follow me, I am SharXRAFC, and that is on Twitter. That's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. You can follow my Rochdale Her Game 2 stuff as well. That is Rochdale HG2. And you can also follow Her Game 2 as well. That's Her Game 2 on all the socials. You can check out the website as well. It's something I'm very passionate about, so please go and check it out and support it. And of course, the most important bit, the podcast socials, and we've got the new updated graphic as well, so I don't have to give you an excuse as why there's the wrong time on it. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Facebook, we have Absolute Football Podcast. You can check our Premier League show on a Monday night at 8:30. Obviously, our lower league show, Thursdays at 8:30. And exciting news, this Tuesday, as Ant mentioned before, we have an All About Ipswich episode with Ant and Sam and, special guest Joe Fairs from the Blue Monday podcast.
He was really good as well. It's a really good podcast, that.
Absolutely flying, aren't they, at the minute as well, Ipswich? So I'm very, very, very excited about this episode to find out everything about Ipswich. So, please do check that out. Usually, I think it's about 8 o'clock it goes live. But that
and you know what else is on that as well, Shah, which I need to actually have a bit of a fun thing with you. The greatest intro to a little kind of quiz show ever in Absolutely Not. That was absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what the funniest thing was, though? So I don't know if anybody has seen this, but we have a game on a podcast called Absolutely or Absolutely Not when we do guest episodes. And I remember Sam asked in a Discord chat, and that was before we did the lower league show and everything. So he asked if everyone could send in a clip of them saying absolutely or absolutely not. Anyway, it got to a certain point and Sam was like, right, I need to do this intro. No one sent it in. So I thought, do you know what? Come on, Sam, we'll take one for the team here. We'll put different disguises on. We'll do absolutely or absolutely not. So anyway, we did it. And me not thinking, I did all these disguises. So in one, I did like a bucket hat and I was doing like a Nolan Liam Gallagher kind of voice. In another one, I had my little boy's like dinosaur hat on. And then I had this bright idea of going undercover, even though people know it as me, drawing lipstick glasses on me. I couldn't find any other colour but purple. I could not, for the life of me, get this lipstick off. So for days, I struggled for days. I had purple around me, and I looked like one of them Ribena bunches off the Ribena advert. I could not get it off. And anyway, me not thinking anything about it, everyone was like laughing at it. And then a few months ago, we got Matt Jarvis on. Obviously, he's played at Wolves, he's played at West Ham, he's played at Norwich, Gillingham. I did the interview with him, Josh and Sam. We played absolutely or absolutely not. I totally forgot about this intro. And Matt Jarvis is sat there watching it. And I'm like, oh no. So I just instantly leave now. It was so embarrassing. But even he loved it as well. So
it's honestly well worth listening to that podcast just for that intro alone. That was the highlight of my night. Honestly, it was unbelievable.
I will actually, do you know what? After this episode, when we go off, I will clip absolutely or absolutely not. And I'll put it on our socials for everyone to see. But honestly, when you're in the moment, you don't think anything of it. But then when you get someone quite well known on and you think, oh no, I was going under. I was literally going more and more off the camera. Yeah, thank God he loved it. But yeah, great intro to that. But yeah, please do support that episode because obviously brilliant guests and Ant and Sam worked really hard on that. So please support, and thank you everybody as always in the chat for coming on, supporting us, keeping us entertained as well, because without you guys it wouldn't be as brilliant as it is. And good luck to everybody's teams, whether it's a league, whether it's the FA Cup. Come on.
Oh, I'm not playing. Enjoy the weekend, folks. I've got a weekend off.
Thank you so much, everyone, and bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, all the best.